Hi, my name is Gus Olson. I've been meeting and flirting with women in real life for 11 years. And one of the biggest frustrations for men is their inconsistent dating life. So I was recently speaking to a guy that told me that in the last year, he went on a few dates. He was getting a good amount of dates, but what ended up happening was that those dates didn't get anywhere. So he couldn't escalate, he didn't know how to flirt, he didn't know how to take it forward. And because of that, he actually didn't sleep with any of the girls and it just evaporated. And then he felt very frustrated. He felt bad about himself, about the whole idea, about the whole dating process. So he deleted the apps because he was getting most of these women through apps. And he deleted the apps. He wanted to take a break from dating, and he took a break from dating. And then what happened was that he spent 1 or 2 months without thinking about dating. But of course, as a guy, you get lonely, you get sexually frustrated, and then he downloaded the apps again and tried to go out there and meet women again, and he was in the same loop. He went and got a few dates, those dates didn't get anywhere, and it just continued in the loop. And he essentially came on the call and he was confused. He couldn't figure out, how is it that on one hand I have these dates, I can get these dates, but I don't know how to flirt, I don't know how to escalate, and I'm not taking them anywhere. I just don't understand. I mean, it's so inconsistent. And on this call, I was there to give him some clarity, and I was also trying to figure out why. And I asked him different questions. And one of the questions I asked him was, well, how do you feel about your situation? And he told me that, yeah, I mean, on one hand, it was very frustrating. And when these days didn't go anywhere, he felt very bad about himself. He got even a little bit depressed and he was very lonely. So he was telling me these things. But then what was interesting was that 2 minutes after, or 3 minutes after, he was telling me that, well, but I mean, I guess it's not that bad. At least I'm dating some girls and now I'm in a different country and here I'm going to more events. So yeah, like it's not that bad, but it could be better. And I just stopped him right there and then because I understood it was so crystal clear what was the root cause of this problem. You can pause the video and you can try to actually figure out on your own if you are in this situation, what could be your problem. Try to actually think about what could be a problem, because a lot of you guys watching, you're gonna have the same issues as this guy. So he had two problems. Problem one is he didn't know how to escalate and take things forward, but the other problem was that just it was inconsistent, right? Like sometimes he would be motivated to date and he would want to date, but then some bad things would happen and he would get like demotivated and then he would delete the apps and disappear. So the flirting part, the escalation part, obviously the root cause of that is just that you haven't learned, right? So that's quite clear. But the inconsistency part, what is the root cause of that? And the root cause of that was nothing other than his attitude towards his dating life, because he was saying that on one hand, he would like to fix his dating life. On one hand, it's causing him a lot of frustration, even depression. He was super bad. But then he said, well, on the other hand, it's not that bad. So he was literally telling his own mind an inconsistent message. He was sending inconsistent message to his mind, to the universe that, I mean, yeah, like, I guess it's bad, but also it's not that bad. So if you're gonna have inconsistent minds, you're also gonna have inconsistent results. It's like having one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. How are you supposed to accelerate? If you're literally telling yourself, your mind, your brain, hey, on one hand, I am tired, I am done living with my current dating situation, I need to change it. But on the other hand, you're telling your mind, well, but it's not that bad. I mean, I'm going on a few dates and yeah, I guess I can just go and play tennis and squash and paddle and it's gonna be fine. If you're telling that to yourself, you're sending very, very inconsistent messages, and as a result of that, you're not able to accelerate because you have one foot on the gas and one foot on the pedal. And I told him this and I said, look, until you fix this and until you gain one-sided consensus about your dating life, you're not gonna change. So you gotta pick. You cannot pick both. So either you are happy and satisfied with the way your dating life is going right now and everything's going great, or you pick the other camp, which is, well, I am frustrated with my dating life. I am frustrated with the fact that I don't know how to escalate and I don't know how to flirt with women, and the fact that they ghost me after, and the fact that I cannot sleep with them. And hence, you accept that situation and then you start working on it. But you cannot be in both camps. It doesn't work like that. And of course, it is very difficult to admit that to yourself as a guy. There's a lot of ego involved, and also you're trying to protect your ego. You're trying to always protect the way you're going to feel about your situation, but you got to do this, because what ends up happening is if you try to pick both camps, then nothing changes and you stay kind of with this mediocre frustration, because you keep telling yourself that things are not that bad, but then you know that things are kind of bad, so you want to change it, but you cannot change it because you're in both camps. So in the short term, yes, it's going to feel a lot worse to admit to yourself, yes, my dating life sucks. It's full of misery, full of frustration, girls don't like me, and I don't know what I'm doing, but at least you can do something about it. But if you stay in both camps, you're kind of living in denial, basically. You're denying your feelings and you're denying your ability to make progress. So if you don't want to stay in this inconsistent gap, in this hole, if you will, you got to pick the camp and you got to admit your frustrations. You got to admit your pain. You got to feel your pain, and you got to be completely honest about what it is causing you in terms of your anguish, your anxiety, and how much opportunities you're losing. And then once you do it, you can start doing something about it. So if you associate with this guy's story, and if you find yourself in an inconsistent dating life that's on some things are working but some things are not working, and you keep repeating the same cycles as if you date and then you stop, you date and you stop, you have to pick a camp. You have to be honest with yourself, and you have to face the reality. You have to face the music. Once you do that, you can start making progress. But until you do that, until you're able to look in the mirror and admit to yourself that your dating life sucks and you want more, and you have that foot on the gas, then nothing's going to change. You're not going to accelerate, and you'll keep living in this hole of frustration because you're literally telling your mind that things are not as bad. If you found this video helpful, on this channel we have something that's called Wingman's Pact. All it says that I make these videos completely for free, but all I'm asking from you, for me to keep being your wingman, is to subscribe to the channel so I can keep these videos coming. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.